Hello everyone, welcome to the sixth module of this course. This deals with file handling, errors, and debugging. So we will learn how to work with files. We will be working with text files and binary files. So for this, let's use VS Code finally. So this is the VS Code window. Also, you can let me know if you have any problem installing or using VS Code or any other platform that you're using. And I don't remember if I've mentioned this in the previous lectures, but like after installing VS Code, you have to install extensions of Pythons as well. Okay. So this is where you can get the extensions. You can search for them here and then you can just install them. Okay, so let's create a text file. All right. New file, text file. Okay. So let's write Python for beginners. The next line, module 6. So let's save it. Let's just call it example.txt. TXT is the extension for the text file. Okay, so this is our text file, alright. So you can close it now and then we'll create a Python file. New file. This time we'll go to Python file. Okay. So we want to read the text file that we have just written. For that, we have to type this with open example.txt within quotes and also within quotes are as file colon. Okay. Print file dot read. Okay. Let's save it. Example.py. Let's name it example.py. Py is the extension for Python files. Okay. So let's run it. This is where you can run it. This I don't know, sideways triangle. Yeah, you can just click on this. Yeah, so you can see that the contents of the file have been printed here. Python for beginners and module 6. So we have read the data from the file called example.txt and we have printed it. So here it is. Okay, next we will write a text file. Alright. So in this case, we just change R into W. And this time we will write file dot write, say hello world. Okay. Okay, now let's check example.txt. So you can see the original data that we had written here, that was Python for beginners and module 6, is gone now. And now we have a new data with which is hello world. So you can again read the file and print it like we did before. Next, we will append to a text file. All right. So replace W with A. And yeah, let's just use hello world only. Okay, now let's check out. Yes, so hello world was already in the file in the example.txt. Now hello world is also added to the end of the file. So appending means adding to the end of the file. So that is what is done here. So you can see R, W and A give a heads up to the language compiler on what operation will be performed on the file. So for read, the file must exist. Okay. So that is why we created a file beforehand. Now for example, let's delete example.txt. Okay. And let's run the same code. Like let's append example.txt with hello world. You can see example.txt was created here. And yes, it contains hello world. Now let's write Python. Now you can see the hello world data is overwritten and now we have just Python in the example.txt. So write creates the file if it does not exist but overwrites it if it does. Okay. And append also creates the file if it does not exist but appends data to the end of the file if it does exist. So I hope you can understand the difference between append, write and read. You can try it out yourself with different examples. These are very simple code. You just have to write 2 lines. So you can understand that a text file contains text, while binary files are files that contain data in a format that is not readable by us. Instead of texts, they store data in a sequence of bytes. These files could represent images, audio, video, executable programs, or other types of data that require special programs to interpret and read them. So, in case of binary files, it is also very simple. Like, I do not have a binary file here, and yeah, but if you want to read, write, or append binary files, you have to just do this B. And also, the data that you write here should also be in binary format. And in case of like read, it will be RB. In case of write, it will be WB. In case of append, it will be AB. So yeah, the text here that is written and appended should be of the binary type, which not should not be Python. So it should be some like a group of numbers or characters. And also, like when we read the binary file, we will also get a group of numbers and characters as the result. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you, the reading part, the reading, writing, and appending part. Okay, next we have error handling, try, except, finally. So these keywords will be used. So let's write a program. Let's use this file only. Try colon n1 say equals int input enter a number. This is how you user input a number. I hope you remember that. We are inputting a number as well as typecasting it into an integer. Like since the input will originally be of a character, but we are typecasting it. And this will be n2. Next, let's type result equals n1 slash n2. Okay, next, accept value error. And you can see I'm not using underscore here. Like I have told you in the previous lecture, I think that like if you want to avoid underscore, you can just use capital letters if you want to like separate, differentiate between two different words in the same function or variable name. Here we write print invalid input. Again, we'll have a except block. I'll explain what is going on here after I complete the program. Zero division error. Here we will write cannot divide by 0. Finally, we will write finally. Yeah. Print execution complete. Okay, so let's run the code. They are asking me to enter a number and I am entering 5. Enter another number. So this in this case I will enter a character, okay, which cannot be typecasted into int. Okay. So here it is. So here you see they are giving me this error which is invalid input, but they are also giving me the confirmation that the execution of the code is completed. So this block is being executed and this block is also being executed. So basically finally is the block which is executed no matter what. Like even if you encounter an error, even if you don't, it will still execute the finally block. Let's try again. Enter a number. We'll go with 7 this time. And here we will write 0. Okay. So n2 is 0. Cannot divide by 0. So this gives us the error that cannot divide by 0. But again, the execution is complete. So the finally block is executed once again. So here in the try block, you place the code that might raise an exception. So basically you expect to succeed in running the code, but you anticipate the fact that it may encounter problems. The program will try to execute this code anyway. If there's an exception, Python stops executing the further lines in the try blocks and moves to the except block. So in case we had more lines after result, then and we had given a wrong input or 0 input, then the execution of the rest of the lines would stop and it will execute the corresponding except block. So except block handles the exception that was raised in the type try block. So here we actually deal with the problem that we encountered. You can clearly specify the type of exception you want to handle and you can have multiple except blocks for different exception types. In the finally block, you wrap up the job. This block is executed no matter what, whether the exception is occurred or not. It's often used for cleanup code like closing files or performing any final actions. In this case, we are just printing that the execution is complete. We are just letting the user know that no matter what error was encountered, the execution is still completed. So these 3 blocks help you manage errors that might occur during the execution of your program and ensure that the code runs regardless of whether an error occurred or not. Also under error handling, we have custom exceptions. In Python, you can create custom exceptions by defining your own exception classes. This allows you to raise and handle errors that are more specific to your program's needs, rather than relying on built-in exceptions. So why use custom exceptions? Custom exceptions can make your code more readable by providing specific error messages. You have more control over the behavior of your program when certain types of errors occur, and you can add more details to your exceptions to give more context. So let's write a Python program. I'm just using the same file over and over again. So let's define an exception class. Negative value error exception. Okay, so you can see here that why this is supposed to be here. So you can see here exception is a keyword that is telling the compiler that the class that we have defined is actually an exception class. But here you can see that exception, the E of exception should be capital, which is something you usually do not see about special keywords like classes, like everything in class is small letters. So you have to remember this, that exception should be written with the first letter capital. In the next line, we write pass. So this is how we have defined an exception class. Def check value value colon if value less than 0 colon raise negative value error. This is the message that will be displayed in this case. Value cannot be negative. So this is our exception class. Okay. And this is in the function def, we are using the exception class. Now let's try incorporating it into a program. So let's say try check value, say -9. Next we have the except block. Negative value error. So here we are using the already defined error in the program. Print f strings error e. Okay, let's try printing it. So negative value error is the custom exception class. You can understand that. So yeah, you can see that. Wait, I'll just clear it out. I'll just open a brand new. This is looking a bit messy here. So let's run it again. Wait a second. Yeah. So you can see that the error here that we had defined, value cannot be negative, is printed here. So basically, in this case, suppose you're calculating a mass of an object or something, and you know mass cannot be negative. So this is when you can use this error, this exception class, to display the error. So here we created the exception class, and here we used a function to make it clear that what this exception class is actually doing. That when exactly when we can raise the exception class exception, and then we are trying and executing it out, like we are inputting a value -9, and then we are checking it out, then we are calling for the exception, and we are printing the error here. So in the function check value, if the value is negative, we raise the negative value error. We use the special keyword raise here, and like most keywords, raise will always be in all small letters, except like you have to just remember exception. Like all the other keywords you can see here, class, pass, def, if, raise, try, except, print. So all of the keywords are written in all small letters, while only exception has the first letter capital. So yes, so the try except block here catches the exception and prints the error message. And here you can see that we have omitted the finally block, since like maybe we don't want to uh we don't have any final actions that we have to perform. We don't need to let the user know that the execution is complete, or we don't need to close a file or something like that. So you can omit the finally part if you want. Finally part is something that tells you that your program is being executed no matter what. But in this case, like we just don't need that, so we can omit it. Okay, so now we have come to the end of this video and it's time for a quick recap. So we started off with reading, writing, and appending text in binary files. And here we learned about the syntax of file handling. That is how we use with open file name, comma, R, W, A, and then as file colon that way. That is also something you have to remember whenever you have to work with files. And then we had try, except, finally blocks, which helps us to handle errors. And then we had custom exceptions. Okay, so we will continue the sixth module in the next lecture. As always, let me know in the comments if you have any queries regarding any of the lectures, or if there are any specific questions or problems that you would like me to solve for you. Alright, so good luck to you and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.